Honestly, I've always wanted to be in real estate. Always wanted to own property. So it was just a situation of finally deciding last December that it was my time to venture forth and get my license and learn the craft, so I can, when I'm ready to do my own thing and start buying properties for investment reasons, I know the ins and outs and have the connections with people.
Oh, okay. So you said last December. So you're pretty new to this.
Very new, yes.
All right. So talk to us about the process.
Okay. So what you'd have to do is register with the, well, first and foremost, New York State, as far as getting a license, is kind of like a hierarchy of, or it's feudal, excuse me. You have to register with an association within the region that you live in, and you pay national dues, local dues, and regional dues for the state as well. So you go to, in this area, you go to Winton Road to the Greater Rochester Realtor Association building. You sign up. It's about a 3-week course, 3 days a week, for 8 hours. You take the course, you pass, and then you can take your state license exam whenever after that. You pass them both, you pay for the license, you're a real estate agent.
Is it easy to pass?
No. It's a lot of information to retain, but if you're interested, just like anything, you focus in, you lock in, and you retain the information.
Yeah.
And it's like anything. If you like doing it, you'll do it well.
Yeah.
8 hours?
8 hours for 3 days a week.
Yo. That remind me of high school. I don't know, my attention span is not what it used to be. Just to be in a class on one subject. At least in high school you get to switch classes.
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that, because the first day sitting in the classroom, I'm thinking to myself, man, this feels like school again. And
right.
How much I don't like school. But like I said, if you like doing it, you're really interested in doing something, you kind of lock in and you just get it over with.
I think 3 days I don't think that's bad though.
3 days a week for 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't think that's bad.
Oh, for 3 weeks. Okay, so
yeah.
I can understand that.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 weeks straight of that.
Yeah.
So when I know you work for Howard Hanna, and I was thinking there are so many different real estate firms that are in the area. Why did you choose to go with Howard Hanna?
Honestly, I spoke with representatives at 3 of the big companies that are here in the area, and what I noticed most was the technology and the education that Howard Hanna offers. Not to mention brand exposure. You look everywhere, you see a green and yellow sign. You can't. To me, that's just logic, since that's the most exposure, and that's what most people see and think about when they are considering real estate companies. So it made sense for me to brand myself with that type of exposure. And again, with the education that they offer you after you get your license. Any real estate agent will tell you, school doesn't end once you get that license. You learn every day. You're going to learn something new every day. When you're going through a process of completing a transaction, no transaction is the same. You're always going to have some little change or wrinkle in the process that's going to look to try to stumble you up and throw your deal off. And you just got to think on your toes and be willing to learn and learn quickly. But yeah, I chose Howard Hanna for those reasons: the education and the brand exposure.
Okay, so you talk about them continuing to provide education. Do they teach you how to make yourself stand out from other agents?
Absolutely. We have marketing seminars, we have how to close a deal, how to prepare a transaction. We do Zoom meetings, I think 3 or 4 times a week on various different aspects of real estate.
Okay.
And you can jump into them as an agent anytime you want. It's free of charge. You
That's
pay
good.
a flat fee monthly that comes with your lawyer coverage, your marketing coverage, and all that. So it's all encompassed in that little fee you pay every month, which I think is very cheap in considering what they offer you as far as education. And it's a continual thing. You can always go back to a class that you may have missed something on, or you need a refresh on, and jump right back in, and they'll welcome you with open arms.
So what are some things that you are doing to get your name out there?
So me, I'm trying this social media thing. I keep to myself. So I try to brand myself with one-on-one interactions with people, and I'm learning that in order for me to really grow my business, I have to expand to social media. So just last week, I sat down with my girlfriend and we kind of, planned out the next 2 months as far as what we're going to do for my marketing purposes. And this was the beginning of it, and you'll start to see more stuff on my Instagram handle, michaelyourrealtor.com, or michaelyourrealtor. And so check that out. Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, you'll start seeing stuff from me.
Okay, so you try to stay away from social media. I know a lot of people who try, like,
I tried. I did.
In this day and age, like, you cannot, it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get people like Jay-Z who doesn't have to have, but he's built that prior to the social media age.
Yeah.
Right now, it's almost impossible for you to have a successful business without some social media presence.
That's a fact. Yeah.
I agree. I'm learning that the more and more I post things, I'm starting to get little DMs or little likes, and I see people liking stuff that I don't necessarily know or speak to on a regular, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of break the ice, talk to them about some things. Just before this interview, someone just hit me, said, "Hey, we need to talk." So that's just from them seeing my posting. I'll be talking to someone in the morning.
And you gotta be, it's there. It's on social media.
Yeah.
So it's not going nowhere. Sometimes you think stuff go away, it's gonna be gone. You did this and then now nobody's gonna see it. No. It's there.
Right.
People are gonna be able to see as you build, as you climb that ladder, and then you get people that want to follow in your footsteps and want to know how you got there.
And it's funny that you say that too, because that's another reason why I wanted to become an agent. I know for people of color, learning this business or the ins and outs of becoming a homeowner or looking to maybe invest in properties to generate income that way, that's not something we're taught from.
Yeah.
You kind of pick that up luckily from someone,
Yeah.
or if you're blessed to have someone in your family that's willing to share that knowledge with you as far as how the processes go, and then you can pick up from there. But for the most part, we're a lot of folks don't know. That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this too. Is I like sharing information. I like helping people. I find joy out of that. And this is one of those unique fields where you can help someone and make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But I get most of the joy from helping folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So what are you listening to, or what are you learning from right now to make sure you're staying current and up to date and marketable?
Honestly, I'm paying attention to my Zoom and webinars with my company, reading. You'll find when you become your own business, you have to continuously learn and understand what's trending and understand the society you live, the immediate society that you live within, to understand how to market yourself to that demographic. Because if you don't, you're going to be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
A lot of older agents don't like social media, but you'll notice that unless they have that built-in clientele, they're not really going to do good business because they don't have that outlet that folks are using to brand themselves.
Yeah.
I understand that is something that I'm going to have to do and kind of get outside of my norm to make myself more successful.
Yeah, my aunt is a realtor, and she didn't start off on social media. She's been doing it for like 20-some years. Okay. So now she's on social media, and I just see her like, making videos and more so like talking to make people, understand really, everything that they need to know about buying a house or even becoming a realtor.
Yep. And that's smart, because she's gonna make herself relatable to her demographic.
Yeah.
And if you can share a little bit of tidbit information to folks every chance you get, so hope to bring them back.
Yeah.
And the great thing about social media, like you said, it's always there. So if you forget something, you can come back, click on it, and pick up, where that memory left off.
So I'm just thinking right now with COVID, good old COVID going on, what have been some challenges that you faced as an agent with selling homes?
That's a great question. So I got my license just before COVID hit. And so the traditional process when you become an agent and you have a client, whether you're selling or you have buyers, you take them around, you based off of their preferences. If you're shopping for buyers, you show them the houses that are within their budget and their preference points. Well, with COVID, you couldn't do that.
Oh,
Folks didn't want you in
yeah.
their house, and the state required that they didn't want us around too many people
Hmm.
to risk exposure. So there were situations where you would do web showings,
Oh, virtual
FaceTime showings
shows.
where
Yeah.
I'm literally walking around the house with my iPhone on my chest, and I'm showing the house. I'm doing a virtual showing for a client. But yeah, you learn, like I said, you learn to adapt to the situation in front of you as a real estate agent, and you try to pivot as best as you can. So I'm grateful that I got to get into this business when this happened, because I got to grow a lot faster than I probably normally would have.
Yes. So tell us something that you think like people really don't know about being a real estate agent or the home buying process. Like, what are some big misconceptions?
Well, I'll tell you for both sides of that question. The one thing most folks don't know about being a real estate agent is it costs money. It costs more than you would think. And that first year, you're probably not going to make more money than you spend. But I would argue also that most businesses don't. And I would also argue that as a real estate agent, you are essentially your own business. It's relatively cheap. It's a relatively cheap business to start. Once you grow it and you continue to compound on it, like it makes sense. Now, the buying process side, I would say it's not as hard as most folks think. It's like getting a car, or nowadays buying a cell phone when you finance for it. It's just you got to get over that mental hurdle where it's like, oh, this is a big step. This is something big. I don't think I can do it. Specifically, folks who don't like to look at their finances, I would say, if you can get your mind past that and just tackle it, you'll realize you'll have more stress finding the house you want versus actually getting the financing for it.
Cool. And what's the ultimate goal? What's the long-term view
For myself,
for yourself?
I'd like my own brokerage firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that usually that's where people tend to go. They branch off and they want to do their own thing, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Is this something you wanted to do for a really long time, or
I've been wanting to do this since high school. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like working for other people, and I don't like sharing my money, especially when I'm doing all the legwork. You'll learn as a real estate agent, you're gonna share a nice chunk of your money. So for me, mentally, to get past that, I chalk it up as education. I'm paying for another education, and once I get good enough at what I'm doing, I can go do my own thing. Now I don't have to pay anybody. But for the meantime, I don't mind it. I think it's a great investment.
Awesome. Tell the people where they can find you on social media.
So you can find me on Instagram, Mike Your Realtor. You can also email me at michaelmosgrove@howardhanna.com. You can call me at 585-481-5274 if you want to talk. I don't have a Facebook business account yet, but I'm working on that.